I'm here with Plastician, my main man Chris Reed.
Yes.
We just done a set in the Emerald Theatre in London as part of my UK tour. Obviously I'm just back from Scotland, doing London, then going down, getting the ferry, and as a surprise where we're going to be next. But so I'm doing this tour to show how music can bring people together culturally, and just want to tell us how we actually met.
Yeah. So we met just down the road from here, actually, on the boat. I was doing that boat party, the Course London boat. Screen played on it, one man, myself, and I seem to remember you held us up a little bit. We had to wait for you.
The boat actually had to wait. yeah. I was phoning Ollie like, "Where are you?" And he was like, I'm here," and I was just standing outside the boat, and then it turns out everyone's on the boat waiting on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing.
Memories, I remember looking out the window and seeing you lot there, like
and
you
then
and Pat and.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then after that, we were on Ollie's Stag Do, and it was me, Chris, and Jack Master back to back.
Yeah.
And that's our first time ever mixing together, and that was iconic. And that's why I started my set with. In the beginning, there was Jack, just a
there you go,
little memoir of the boy.
Memento, yeah. Shout out Jack Master. Yeah, that was a pretty mad few days that Stag Do.
It was wild. Yeah. Okay, so who is your number one artist or performer that inspired you to start DJing and producing?
Definitely, for me, DJ EZ was a big influence. I think, like,
legend.
I was into garage anyway, like listening to Pirates and, you know, like going out clubbing in South London. That was what you were hearing. So I was exposed to garage, and then just like I was at college. Mate of mine had his Walkman, sort of like share an earphone, like sat in there. I'm like, what is this? The way EZ was mixing was like he wasn't really mixing; he was just dropping.
Yeah,
so a tune like you're about to hear something drop.
He's like he's a human metronome.
Completely switch it, like, without no like, you know. And then sometimes they would just like cheat a little bit of the track in, but like a little chop rather than like a blend.
Yeah,
he's like,
what's that?
How is he doing this? I'm like, what? I've never.
The first time I seen him, I was like, wow,
man. And that was it. Like hearing that, I was like, I want to have a go at doing that. That sounds fun. And that was it. Started buying records and learning to mix by like trying to copy the mixes on that Exposure Volume 2 tape pack. So EZ will forever be
the hardest mixes to try and copy.
Oh
on record as well.
Yeah. I've had to play after him a couple of times. Not fun.
After him.
Yeah, it's horrible.
No horrible. Thanks. So you've moved through grime, dubstep and beyond. What still excites you about music right now?
I'm always looking for the bits in between, you know, like I think there's a lot of obviously established genres out there, and it's quite easy to find like the hits and the big tunes that you need in your set and in your crates from like those genres. But for me, it's like the people that operate in between those sounds. So there's someone who likes to play lots of different stuff and like have a way from one genre to another. I like the tracks that I need to have in between.
Keeps it interesting.
Yeah, so anything that's like somewhere between this and that, like, you know, like, oh, it's a bit techno-y but it's a bit dubstep-y, or
not just a dubstep set or a tech house set.
Exactly. It's like, and so like at the moment some of the stuff in my set from like Sim, and he's working with like Nefertiti, and Nefertiti obviously works between like grime and techno, and it's like the stuff they're making is very good for that kind of transition between those sounds. And Main Phase is making this incredible like techie dubstep, like really early sounding dubstep.
Well, what you played a proper techie tune earlier that was dubby, and
that might have
and that inspired me to like put on a random track like that.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? It was a buzz.
It's fun. Those records are fun.
Proper fun. So what does Plastician in 2026 care about that 2008 Plastic Man didn't?
I would say, I think it's a difficult one. It's a good question, that, but I feel like back in 2008 was a little bit pre like the social media kind of age, and so we weren't really getting the comments and stuff like that. You were only really influenced by your peers and like what you thought of your own set. You know,
exactly.
Whereas now you're seeing people say, "Oh, like, why are you playing that?" Or "Why do you play this?"
What?
"Oh, I preferred when you did
Start
that."
Crying.
Like, oh mate, but I always remember this comment on a radio show once. I used to do weekly radio back then, and it was "Oh, you played this on the show last week," and I thought, what a strange thing, because I always just thought, I was on radio last week, that's still in my sets, and it stuck with me. I was like, wait, do people expect me to play a different set every week? And I thought, and after that I was just like, oh, I made a conscious effort of like, it's alright to play like some stuff twice, obviously, but you don't want to be playing the same song every week for a couple of months. And it's like, back then that was kind of normal, because radio was a bit like, you practice.
People wanted to hear it again.
Yeah, they want to hear it because you're
they wouldn't
you're the
hear
only
it anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
So you're used to doing that because you're like, well, no one else is playing this record.
And now you get on record, it comes out, and then everyone wants
exactly.
it. Everyone's playing it, and then it's bastardised.
100%. But now everything's so instant, so like those records are available most of the time to a lot of people, and so yeah, conscious effort now where I'm only on radio once a month as well. It's like, right, I need a nice bulk of stuff that either is unreleased and people won't have heard at all.
Yeah.
Or it's just something that I've never played on the show.
And sound like that you love.
Something
you're
new.
really into.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're like
trying to like refresh the set.
If it gets your gears going, that's what you want.
Doing like club gigs, like there'll be a lot of stuff that I play at every gig, like for months on end. But radio, I try to mix it up a little bit.
And that goes on to my next question, because you're known as a selector, and what makes a set feel timeless instead of just current? And it's same kind of question.
Yeah, I guess it's that, isn't it? It's like being able to flex a little bit. So if you play back to back with someone who plays lots of different styles, you never really know what they're going to do, and they don't really know what you're going to do.
Yeah, that's what I loved it. Like, we talked about our set for like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
And then just
like maybe what sort of tempo you're going to
that is it. That is it.
And you're like, okay, I've got some stuff.
We had one song each. We'll start with this, and then just
and then like
curveballs after curveballs.
You might have like stuff at different tempos, but like completely different styles. So like I might be like, right, well, I've got some disco stuff at that tempo, but I've also got garage, and I've also got some house, and I might even have some like wavy, like really like half-time stuff at like 128.
Jack was one of the best for that as well.
Yeah, he was great.
He inspired me so much.
Now he was one of the best for that. There's some really good selectors out there that I've had the pleasure of playing back to back with, and he's one of if not the best, really, like in terms of
curveballs,
and he literally
and keeping the energy though.
Yeah,
I always keep the energy.
I remember playing a boat party with him actually at Outlook, and he said to me, "I want to play some like really like girly garage, like vocal garage, like R&B remixes," and I was like, I didn't know you had that in your locker, but I've got that. That was what I grew up
on.
And
then, exactly.
And he drew some like really good ones. I was like, wow, I just assumed that people that weren't like growing up in that garage era
have no idea.
Know that. And he was drawing that, and
he showed me a lot of garage as well, because where I'm from in Scotland, I never got shown garage growing up. No, like, in the slightest.
It was very London centric at that time. Yeah, exactly. All the trance and hard house and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's what I got shown growing up, and I was never getting shown garage ever.
We only grew up listening to garage, so like apart from old people with older brothers maybe listening to a bit of jungle, like we didn't know much.
Exactly. Another question: what's one country or scene that surprised you when you played it?
I loved playing in China. Going there, I think the first time I went was like 2015, and you don't see like Chinese comments on the internet. So I'm like, getting a booking somewhere like that is like, what? People know my stuff out there. That's crazy. So you really don't know like what to expect. You don't know like what the promoter's expecting from you. Like someone who plays lots of different genres but is like attached to different scenes and that. You think like, is this promoter a dubstep head? Are they a garage head? Are they like a grime head? So you go into these gigs and you're really trying to suss it out based on like what the DJs before you're playing. So I like to get in there early and like hear the warm-up artists and the people who are playing after me, and
have a massive collection ready just in case.
Exactly. Like, so I always travel with Serato, and it's like, I've got crates and crates of stuff, like tens of thousands of songs on that laptop, and it's I can take it anywhere. So I try and like fit the night, but also be aware that they booked you because they hear you on the radio.
Yeah, they want your stuff.
Don't just try and fit the night. Like
try and like a puppet.
Try and fit the night a little bit, but like make sure that like you show yourself to them and
100%.
Like represent what you're about.
What track changed your direction as a DJ?
Mate, I always remember this time I was in New York, and I wouldn't say it changed my direction, but it was a bit like it made me want to DJ the kind of stuff I grew up hearing. Yeah. So I was in New York, I think I was there for a gig, and I was staying in the Standard Hotel, and in the Standard they got a venue on the rooftop called Le Bain, and back then it was quite a pop-in, like, it was kind of like an invite only, like guest listy kind of thing, but if you're staying in the hotel you could get in. And DJ Blue Gems, RIP Blue Gems, but he was playing like kind of like 90s like classic house, some Chicago house, a bit of like, and then he mixes in a version of a song that I loved growing up, and it was Talk Talk, It's My Life, and I'd never heard a DJ play like that kind of thing in like a dance set. I was like, what is going on?
Like, what? Yeah, wait.
This works, but what? How is he getting away with
This
it?
isn't where I park my car.
Yeah, and I'm like, what version of it? Because it was like a long version that had like an extended like instrumental part before like the vocal came in, and I was like, I need to hunt this version down. I found out that that version of that song came out in France. Got like this 12-inch extended version that only came out in France, and that became a staple. It made me like want to play sets where I could get away with playing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, it was like going back to Jack as well. It was one of them ones that we toured America with Scream and Benga, and we'd get on the bus after, be like the afters. You know, get on the
tune for
tune for
tune,
and it was always like, who's
Loved
got
doing that with all you guys as well.
Always trying to get those
like,
cheesy 80s ones.
Yeah, trying to like up the tune. Like,
it's like
how can I beat
cheesy,
them with
but like
amazing.
Yeah, like you can't. You're guilty.
How
pleasures.
can I beat this, but also like not beat it?
Exactly. Yeah, and I drew that one out one morning. I think come out of the bunk, and Hijack and Pokes were like in the back of the bus drinking red wine, what was left of the rider from the night before, and it was about 7 a.m. It was daylight. I rolled out of my bunk, so I sat there, and we were taking turns playing 80s tunes, and I banged that one on, and we were like, this is a belter. And I was like, yeah. And Jack like bowled out of his bunk, and he sort of bowled out. He's like, what is this tune? What is it? He's like, it was on the tip of his tongue. He's like, I know it, mate. He's like, what is this tune? And then I told him, and he's like, oh. And then he was in. Then it was it.
It's a good impersonation.
Straight back up. Yeah, it's about as far as my Scottish impression
it's
goes.
quite good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
But yeah, he just came in like mad scatty and was like, yeah, he just locked in again, like straight back into the afters again, like yeah. That tune.
Yeah, it's a bit. Well,
Yeah.
put a little clip of it.
Yeah.
You need to send me that French version.
Yeah, I got that for you.
What is the most ridiculous rider request you've ever seen, yours or someone else's?
Well, I've got a good one on mine that kind of came about. I think I was in like backstage in like snowbombing, and it was in the dressing room. But I had this weird sort of like crochet, like cross stitch, like picture of like a horse with like a business suit on. So I was like, what's that? And at the time, I think I'd had a conversation with Artwork about riders. He had something on his. I can't remember what it was.
I know he does like the mad guest list names.
Yeah.
If you see this name at the door, you can get in.
That's
and
it,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
But he's got some stuff on his rider as well, and I can't remember what it was.
Just
But
mad stuff.
he had something, and I remember him saying that it's because that way you know they've looked at your rider. If like you get there and that's there, so I was like, okay. So I adopted the framed picture of an animal doing a job or a sport, and yeah, I've had some pretty.
That's
good
brilliant.
Ones. Yeah, I've got some in my studio.
You need to show me photos of that.
Oh yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
Perfect,
Got a few framed in the garage.
I think that is brilliant. I love that. Okay, final question. I'm your doctor, and you get to listen to one song before you die. You got 10 seconds to pick what song.
Well, if it's not "It's My Life," Talk. I mean, like we could go garagey. It's got to be "Destiny" by them too. That was like a big
Destiny.
Love that record. When I remember working my first sort of full-time job, if you like. I worked as a lifeguard in a leisure centre, and one of the boys like DJ'd up. He put his tape on at the poolside and that, and he was at this Destiny track. And I remember it was on a mini disc because he lent me the mini disc, and it was the third track on a mini disc.
Yeah,
and I was
mini disc.
like,
Mini disc. Yeah.
rinsing that track
Class.
for years. Like before I even started like buying records, I was like, this tune is amazing. So yeah, it was one of the first ones I sort of sought out when I started buying records, and yeah, it was like ground zero for me really. That in terms of like really getting into garage.
Yeah, sick.
Hearing that was like, this tune is the one. There was tunes I'd heard before that, but that was the like, this is the tune. Yeah.
Well, that was sick, my mate. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thanks for having me, mate.
And
Pleasure.
make sure you follow Plastician on Instagram and the Highland Globetrotter if you want to follow the tour. If you want to catch and watch our back-to-back, it will be uploaded in my bio ASAP, so check us out.
Check it out. Cheers.
Peace. Arrivederci.
Nice.
Sorry.
You're going to have to get good at all of your languages.
Bonjour. Get to fuck.
How do you say "here we fucking go"?
Right, sorry.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it did go a lot quicker. That might be